Most people sit down to make a budget and immediately start doing it backwards. They pay their bills, cover their groceries, handle their subscriptions, maybe grab some takeout a few times, and then whatever is left over, if anything, gets set aside for savings. Sound familiar? That approach feels responsible on the surface, but it is actually the reason most people never build real wealth. Today, we are flipping that entire model on its head. This is the pay yourself first method, and by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to set it up, how much to save, and why it works when every other budgeting strategy has failed you. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this is part of our ongoing How to Make a Budget series, where we break down the most effective budgeting systems out there so you can find the one that actually fits your life. We have already covered a few powerful methods in this series, so if you have not watched those yet, I will link them in the description. But today's method might honestly be the most beginner-friendly one we have talked about yet. So let us get into it. Let's start with the core idea. Pay yourself first is exactly what it sounds like. The moment your paycheck hits your account, before you pay a single bill, before you buy groceries, before you do anything else, you move a set amount of money into savings or investments. You are treating your future self like a financial obligation, not a nice-to-have, not something you get to when there is money left, an actual bill that must be paid. That mental shift alone is more powerful than any spreadsheet or budgeting app. Here is why the traditional approach fails so many people. When you save what is left over at the end of the month, you're essentially putting your financial future at the mercy of your spending habits. And spending habits are unpredictable. Life happens. An unexpected car repair comes up, a friend's birthday dinner turns into a $300 night, a bad week leads to a few too many online purchases. By the time the end of the month rolls around, there is often nothing left to save. And you tell yourself you will do better next month, but next month looks the same. Pay yourself first breaks that cycle because the savings happen first. The decision is already made before temptation ever enters the picture. Before you even see the money sitting in your checking account, it is already moved. That is behavioral finance working in your favor instead of against you. You simply cannot spend money you do not see. Now let's talk about how to actually set this up, because this is where most videos stop at theory and leave you without a real plan. Step 1 is figuring out your savings rate. This is the percentage of your income that you are going to commit to paying yourself first every single month. A common recommendation you will hear is 10%. That is a solid starting point if you are just beginning, but if you have been at this for a while or your income allows for it, aiming for 15 or even 20% is where you start to see your financial life transform significantly faster. Here is the thing though, do not let a percentage feel so intimidating that you do nothing. If 10% feels impossible right now, start with 3%, start with 5%. The habit of doing it consistently is worth more than the perfect number done inconsistently. You can always increase it as your income grows or your expenses decrease. Step 2 is choosing where that money goes. This is not just about savings accounts. Paying yourself first can mean several different things depending on your goals. It might mean maxing out your employer-matched retirement contributions first, because that match is essentially free money, and walking away from it is one of the most expensive financial mistakes people make. It might mean funding an emergency fund until you have 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside. It could also mean investing in an index fund, contributing to a Roth IRA, or building a sinking fund for a specific goal like buying a house or taking a meaningful trip. The category matters less than the habit. Pick one priority and direct that first slice of your paycheck there consistently. Step 3 is automation, and this is genuinely the most important part of the whole system. The pay yourself first method is not about willpower, it is about removing the decision entirely. You are going to set up an automatic transfer that moves your designated savings amount out of your checking account on the same day your paycheck arrives. Most banks allow you to schedule recurring transfers. Many employers will let you split your direct deposit between multiple accounts so the money never even lands in your main account to begin with. That second option is even better because you genuinely never see the money. It simply goes where it needs to go without any action required from you. Step 4 is building your budget around what is left. This is a key distinction that separates Pay Yourself First from every other budgeting method we have covered in this series. In most systems, you start with your income and then allocate to savings last. Here, you subtract your savings commitment from your income first, and then you budget everything else around the remaining amount. So if you bring home $3,000 a month and you are committing 10%, you immediately remove $300. Now you are working with $2,700. Your rent, your utilities, your groceries, your phone bill, everything comes out of that $2,700. That is your actual budget. This forces a level of resourcefulness that the traditional method never does. Now, I want to address the most common concern people have when they first hear about this approach. What if I do not have enough left over after saving to cover my actual expenses? This is a real concern and it deserves a real answer. If your current income genuinely does not leave enough after your savings commitment to cover your necessary expenses, you have two options. The first is to lower your savings rate temporarily until your financial situation improves. Even 1% is better than zero. The second is to look seriously at your expenses and find places to reduce. This method has a way of revealing exactly how much unnecessary spending was quietly absorbing your income each month. When the money is not there, you get creative. You meal prep more. You cancel subscriptions you forgot about. You renegotiate your phone bill. Constraints breed clarity. Let us also talk about something that often gets overlooked in budgeting videos, and that is the psychological reward loop. One of the reasons people abandon budgeting methods is because they feel restrictive and unrewarding. Pay Yourself First is different in a really interesting way. Every month you check your savings account or your investment balance and you watch it grow. Not at the end of a long streak of perfect spending decisions, right away, from the first paycheck. That growth becomes deeply motivating. It gives you proof that the system works before you have even mastered controlling every dollar. That early win keeps you in the game. There is also something worth mentioning about identity. When you pay yourself first consistently, something shifts in how you see yourself. You stop being someone who is trying to save money, and you start being someone who saves. That is not a small thing. Identity-based financial behavior is far more durable than motivation-based behavior. Motivation runs out, identity persists. So let's do a quick recap so you walk away with a clear action plan. First, decide on your savings rate. Start at 10% if you can, lower if you need to, and increase it over time. Second, choose your savings destination. Retirement account, emergency fund, investment account. Pick one priority and commit. Third, automate the transfer so it happens on payday without any effort or decision from you. And fourth, build the rest of your budget using only what is left after your savings commitment is already handled. That is the Pay Yourself First method in full. It is simple, it is powerful, and it works precisely because it removes the biggest obstacle most budgeters face, which is themselves. This is not about being perfect with your spending every day. It is about making one great financial decision at the start of every month and letting everything else fall into place around it. If you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe because we have more installments coming in this budgeting series and each one builds on the last. Drop a comment below letting me know which method from the series you are actually using or planning to try. I read every single one. And if you want to keep learning, the next video in the series is right up on the screen now. I will see you there.